235, we're out with a Arapahoe County Sheriff cruiser at Abilene and Alameda, and we can't find the owner. Can you try to air and have him come get his car? Sure. And they've been photographed. Hold on.
Raw feed coming from Aurora.
Littleton officers, he's no longer on here.
That was the last person that had eyes on him that I know it was those Littleton officers you're with.
Today begins Ramadan, by the way.
Mutual Aid Command Post. Nicoletti's office is setting up there. Again, Nicoletti's office will be at the Fire Department Mutual Aid Command Post.
I'm just speculating.
Lincoln 25 to those guys that have our Brookbacher. As long as the cars are documented that they were used to transport, we've taken pictures of the car and the back seat. Those cars can be decontaminated.
The police car's probably right.
27 is clear. Anybody that has a car that needs that, I'll get crime scene cleaners to today's scene.
Hey, Sarge, we got a bunch at the hospital. So we got 3 at the hospital. We can't leave right now that are full of blood.
Jesus.
Cars.
Hey, Matt, could we maybe have crime scene cleaners go to the hospitals after those cars have been documented?
Wow.
Yeah, I think we can accommodate that. Let me make a phone call and see what I can get done.
Let me just talk to the floor real quick, too.
You don't realize they got to, make sure they know who was transported in what car, where they came from, where they were.
Dispatch to 628.
628.
628. Can I have you guys please on a domestic at Lexington Park Apartments?
That guy's like, fuck, I gotta go to a domestic.
That guy deals with some drunk wife.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Let me tell you something. This bitch has been fucking giving me shit the whole. Do you understand something?
All right.
We're very busy. Domestic.
Jeez.
Some guy in a wife beater fucking, hey,
Right.
this bitch.
Do you know how cranky that cop is going to be when he gets there? Of course. What is MSNB talking
How did
about?
that make you feel?
I didn't like it. I felt I went back and looked what Tom Brokaw said when they used him in an ad, and that Tom was the entirety
about
of a 30
campaign
ads.
My understanding is this
Dopes.
The theater.
Because, I mean, if you're a viewer right now and you know this is happening, you're changing the channel.
Right, immediately.
And finding whatever you can. That's how human nature works. What idiots.
They
Dude,
are stupid.
What idiots. We, on the Opie and Anthony show, were playing live audio from the fucking police scanner feed in Aurora, Colorado. MSNBC is talking about political ads.
Yeah.
This is their job,
What
not ours.
Shitheads. Dummies.
it's unfortunate, and I wish it hadn't.
Let's go stay with the New York Times on your must-reads. Paul Krugman.
Yes, that's what I've chosen. I think it's a good one. Like everyone else following the news, I've been awestruck, he writes. By the way, questions about Mr. Romney's career at Bain
Bain. They can't get enough of fucking Romney and Bain Capital. Trust me, the Bain thing isn't going away. You could pick up on that on Monday.
I think it's going to take a back seat.
Are you kidding
today.
me? I have been keeping track. They have done less than 10 minutes on this whole thing. Fox has not gone to a commercial, and I'm not saying I'm a Fox guy. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You don't need to go to commercial. Right. They have not gone to commercial, and they have not done another story.
Do they comb through tips that they may have gotten? Do they comb through information to look for clues as to whether there may have been some indication about this person in the past in order to put together other
Bain
people that
Capital.
may be part of a web or a conspiracy?
All of the above you just mentioned, yes, they are doing all of those things. Here's the thing, again, there had to be warning signs with this guy. Someone, and we'll find this out later on today as this case progresses, someone knows about this guy, whether or not he has family members, whether or not he had a girlfriend, who knows? But somebody had to have known.
No one thinks he's a man from Mars,
this guy was
idiots.
planning this type of an attack, and maybe he has a criminal history. We do not know that quite yet. Again, this is so fluid right
what are you
now.
saying,
But
then?
we're
You're
going to
just
find
making-
all of these
he's just saying
answers out,
words.
hopefully
Right.
sometime today. But let me just mention this one other
This
thing.
man
When
may
guy
be an
started
airline
shooting,
pilot. He
one
may
question that
enjoy
a lot of
Yankees
people may
baseball.
have
Oh,
is
yeah, well,
what
you
could
can
the
fucking
people
say
in the
maybe to
theater have
anything.
done. In a situation like this that we just see, what you have to do is scatter. You don't want to gather as a group. And I think that's why that guy set that bomb off, because he wanted people to be huddled up as a group heading for the door because it made it easier for him to take out his target. So in a shooting situation like this is some good information, guys. You always want to scatter, get away from everybody, and just
can
scatter.
I point out,
and then when you get
you're
to
in a
safe
movie
location,
theater where
that's when you call
smoke
check.
canisters are set off.
And,
There's not 500
right
exits.
Denver. You know the area very well yourself.
There's
about
two.
325,000
Two exits. One the shooter's next to, and the other one.
Told. And also reports coming in that a gang unit came on the scene, canines, the FBI.
Yeah, everybody.
Maybe it was a dog
police
then.
From
everyone
every
showed up.
Possible area.
Yeah, you got to imagine everyone's going to show up.
Everyone showed up.
They also, I'm sure,
except for the
traffic
poor
cops.
guy that has to do the domestic.
Yeah, except for that poor guy.
Domestic violence call.
Yeah. She has not shut up about taking the garbage out.
Sir, you don't understand. There's been a shooting. I can't do this.
I didn't shoot her. What
She
are you
shot
talking
her
about?
mouth off.
Yes.
You think he's distracted? He's like, oh, God, I want to get back to the scene. Because I imagine if you're a police officer, this is the type of thing you want to be involved with.
And he's just fucking...
And he's like...
She just won't shut the fuck up. Sir, can I ask you to sit down?
Sit down.
He's got a fucking beer in his hand.
Right.
That guy.
That guy.
This cop's like, oh, really? I got to leave this scene?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Well, it's fucking horrible, man.
Terrible.
We just seem to have one of these every so often.
Every
other year, it seems
happens. It's, basic human nature.
Yep.
I reckon.
But just like, what a selfish cunt this guy is. Knowing that, besides the people he's killing, just the amount of people he wants to be tied in with this movie.
Yes.
He wants to be tied in negatively with it.
Yeah.
Piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Engine 3, I forgot to ask if you want them emergent or routine.
Huh?
Routine, sir. Copy, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Then what happened?
What happened?
What happened? I always wonder what's happening when they...
13, I have a witness over here at Crystal and Alameda that was told to come be interviewed by Fox News. Are we letting them in?
Hey, Jake, one more time.
I have someone here that was told by Fox News to come in and be interviewed. Are we letting them back in or no?
Absolutely not. Nobody. Once they've left, no, we don't need anybody else in here.
Fox News all pissed off now.
Yeah, they're screwed.
They lost fucker. Yeah.
Hey, CSO dispatch, 1 Baker 34.
Baker 34.
Can you see if we can have everyone meet over on the east side of Dillard so we have a vehicle maintenance for
Battalion 1 with Engine 3 on a standby. Member 4 David 2, East 17th Avenue, North Oswego Street. Truck 2, Battalion 1 on a standby with AP. Member 4 David 2, 17th and Oswego. Respond on TAC 2.
I need TAC 2.
God, it's so enraging.
I need to go to TAC 2.
It really is, huh?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give them my cell.
Don't give out your number.
Sir, is there somewhere I would find that number?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you should have it up at dispatch at Sheep 3 or Martinelli.
Yeah.
They would never give it out on a police scanner, right?
Oh.
They got to be aware people are...
monitoring the situation.
Of course.
We're monitoring the situation.
Negia.
Yeah, this is
I've got 622, 624, 625.
I'm bashing MSNBC on Twitter, and somebody goes, should they spend hours on this story?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah,
That's what they're there for.
It's unfolding right now. That's why you have a 24-hour news channel, you dunce.
Yeah, kind of, you do. You spend the next few hours on it.
It's not like it's either this or another shooting or a presidential assassination.
Right. Yeah.
It's this or fucking the Emmy nominations.
Right. They're just not prepared. When we get home today, this is going to be all you're going to see all day
just not prepared.
long.
That's exactly it.
And yes, they should.
Yes, they should.
If you know anything about building an audience, you realize people are going to search out this news on their own. Because all that other stuff could wait. I don't give a fuck who's nominated for an Emmy right now.
It's such... And how is Morning Joe as a host not going, forget it, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I know there's not much new info, but how do you concentrate on the Emmys?
Right.
A guy fighting with his girlfriend.
Still? They went back to that? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, apparently. Jesus Christ.
Lincoln 25 in through planning supervisor at the high school. Engine 3 go. Cruiser 70 at Gateway, go ahead. Yeah, what location you want us to come in? Jamie Brower with Nicoletti's on her way up there. Will you coordinate with her? We're still trying to get this hashed out, but if you want to put the truck in,
This is just logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting, though.
Lanyards and things like that there at the Century 16 multiplex. What kind of security was in place before the movie started? Did you see police officers there?
Before I went into the theater?
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't see a lot. I was actually surprised because of the amount of people that were going to be there, and I thought they would have had more enforcement.
Why?
Right. And we understand that the movie was showing at 3 different screens there in Aurora. Were they all filled to capacity?
Yes, I believe the first 2 were sold out, and I couldn't get a ticket to the first 2, and then I had to settle for the 3rd one. That was the only one that was still selling tickets.
Well, you know what? You're lucky you weren't in that earlier theater.
Yeah.
I think he knows
A lot of excitement around.
It just frustrates me, the basic shit. Like, as a news guy, you don't know that the Batman movie and the midnight showings are all sold out across America.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's sold out for the entire weekend. Of course all the theaters were packed.
And then somebody writes, MSNBC should be politicizing this tragedy like real Americans. Are you guys out there, like, are people who like MSNBC's politics this fucking delusional? They're doing a lousy job.
Terrible.
Now they're covering it. They keep going in, but they're getting their fucking commercials in, and then the host and his co-host are talking about Emmy and political ads.
Emmy nominations and Romney fucking Bain Capital.
They're covering the garbage they planned on covering.
Yeah.
They're a live news network, and they're not going with the live news.
Right, we had a whole show planned, and we threw it all out the fucking window now.
We on this show,
and we're supposedly just a dumb shock jock show.
Yes, and we are.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I like to think we're way better than most of these fucking idiots.
No, we're dumb
at this point.
We're having fun.
No, we like to go dumb.
Yeah,
but we do
Monday
have
through Friday. We do it.
This is Denver. I don't think.
No.
Detail 3 has been released.
I'm not sure what they'll have on it.
We can be in all around and over the unit for the remainder. Headed 456.
Yeah. Hello?
Nothing?
No, I don't think so.
Counting on phase 2, so hang up 2900 block of Arkins. Call Ed for information at 456.
What's that English guy doing?
I don't know.
What's he doing there?
I don't know. I don't like that.
They sent in the bobbies? Hello?
That's 21.
Yeah, I don't think
no.
Denver's going to have anything.
All right.
There's nothing going on in
Just
Denver.
horrible.
No.
Yeah, it's really depressing.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And if you are there in the theater with your gun, do you shoot?
Yes. I say yeah. It all depends. You know, it's one of those situations you can never say what you would do in that situation. It's a fucking like battle situation.
Wouldn't you try to get your ass out of there like anyone else?
Maybe. I think if you got somebody that's well trained.
But you would assess the situation like, wait, maybe if I get behind this pillar, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But your first thought is to save yourself. That's what everyone would think.
Any reasonable guy with a gun, the first thing you think of is this the right thing to do? Is this a stunt? You know, you don't want to shoot someone that's pulling a stunt for the movie kind of a thing. So, you know, to just instantly start firing in a crowded theater, you know, you get yourself fucked that way. But then, and then how do you know, even though people are screaming, it might be a prank? It might, you know, it's one of those situations where
it might be Howie Mandel doing, a scene for Mobbed or something.
Right, something like that.
Some over-the-top prank, you're right.
Yeah, but
so you got to wait it out a little bit and then go, holy fuck, this is real.
But if you're close to the situation and you see somebody fall and bleeding, and now you know that this is happening and it's a real thing going down, then yeah, you fucking would have to.
But your brain says, get the fuck out of this theater first.
Yeah.
It really does,
well,
unfortunately.
That would be your instinct
But then if you're thinking, wait a minute, I could, he's distracted right now. I think I could take a shot. Then you take a shot.
If you're a cop, you probably take a shot because you understand immediately what's happening, like an off-duty cop.
Yeah.
But for a regular guy, it's like
you're gonna have to wait.
Tough. Yeah, it's a tough call.
You're gonna have to wait at first.
Cover and then fucking return fire.
What was footage of the old man recently? There was an old guy. There was a robbery, and he was with his wife, and he fucking had a gun. And he ran after the guy and popped and fucking
footage is
chased him out.
unbelievable. He's sitting in a chair at the back of this internet cafe. Two guys come in with masks on. One guy's got a gun. One guy's got a baseball bat. They start rousting the crowd. This old guy just stands up, pulls his gun out, and starts shooting at these motherfuckers who absolutely were not expecting this. Because they were tripping over each other to get out the door, and the old guy's just plugging them.
Man.
Did he actually shoot them?
Yeah, he got both of them. He didn't kill them. They wound up in the hospital, and then they got arrested. But yeah, were they shocked. Were they shocked.
Denver University Hospital is reporting that they are treating 3 people for chemical exposure, but that could just be
they
the
were
tear
probably
gas.
close to the tear gas.
Yeah.
Investigating in the hospitals and finding out why this took place and whether there is anyone involved in bringing this together.
That's right. We're going to have some more experts coming on to tell us what they think went on. If you've got a question, email us, friends@foxnews.com.
Now, top stories, MSNBC. Defense Department service members make march in uniform at Gay
NBC
Pride.
News Chief White House correspondent
Top of the hour,
Chuck Todd,
I'm sure they're gonna
and former director of the
it.
White House Domestic Policy Council and CEO of Melanie Barnes Solutions, Melody Barnes. Good to have you all on board this hour. We want to go straight to Willie Geist, though, for an update on the terrible situation out of Aurora, Colorado. Willie.
Yeah, and NBC's Pete Williams confirming the suspected shooter in today's massacre in Aurora, Colorado is a 24-year-old man, a white male, police say. 15 people are dead right now.
They say white.
50 more wounded.
They got to say white male.
They do, but I want a suspect description, so fair enough.
Outside Denver. The suspect is in custody right now.
If it was Middle Eastern, they'd probably say it here, though.
Theater. It was the opening night of this Dark Knight Rises movie. People were in costume, so he didn't stand out. He was wearing black and he wore a gas mask, but then walked to the front of the theater, apparently dropped some kind of canister, police say. Some kind of smoke began to rise, and then he just began opening fire indiscriminately, killing now at least 15 people. The police chief there in Aurora calls it a horrific scene. Images of police dragging people and perhaps bodies out of the movie theater.
And somebody says now we'll have to go through security to go to a movie theater. I almost hope he kicked the door in
local time,
just for that reason, like so everyone in the whole country is not the
20
fucking
minutes
shift
into
gears.
the movie, this guy walked in and began opening fire. That suspect is in custody. 24-year-old white male. He was carrying a couple of weapons, a knife.
But it is funny how they now
maybe it's inside, so they shut down and locked down that movie theater as they checked. They're quick to point out they haven't found that yet. Jim Lukaszewski at the Pentagon reporting defense officials say they have no indication as of now the shooter.
It is, much more than a fucking
military.
Man, I'm going to fucking make a statement.
He's
a comic book guy, the Dark Knight. He thinks he's the Dark Knight. I'm the Dark Knight. Ugh, selfish cunt.
Goddamn fucking prick.
Just a selfish little nothing. 24-year-old, probably good at nothing, probably got dumped. Just a fucking bag of shit who would never have amounted to anything, who wants to get famous.
And now he's going to be very, very famous.
And he wanted to live, man. I'm telling you. You had the bulletproof vest, and he still had a fucking bomb in the car, which means he was probably going around the fucking front to do something else.
And they will pick apart everything this guy has done. Music he's listened to, television, video games he's played. Everything is going to be, well, look at what caused this. And meanwhile, what caused it is this guy's a fucking prick. Just a dick.
Let's see what CNN's doing.
As we understand it, the vehicle was found with some sort of explosive device in it. Now, it could be a gas canister or something of the sort. At this point, we are just not sure. There is a picture of his vehicle right there. Now, here is what we are hearing from witnesses, that this gunman entered the movie theater. The movie started about midnight, but just after 12:30, apparently this gunman stood up in the front of the movie theater, set off some sort of gas canister, that's what witnesses are telling us, and then grabbed a rifle and and 2 handguns and started shooting at random. We are hearing that somewhere between 10 and 20 shots went out across that movie theater. There was mass chaos in that movie theater. The gunman then ran out to the back of the theater, to the parking lot, and that is where his car was parked. Now think about it. The folks who are going to a movie at 12:30, 12 o'clock midnight, there's going to be a lot of teenagers. And there are parents waking up this morning whose teenagers may not have returned home. There are as many as 50 people in the hospital this morning. Some are being treated with more moderate injuries, but some are considered to be severe at this point. 14 people dead at this hour.
They can't get this
Well, we are
straight?
hearing from one witness. He's a 30-year-old Benjamin Fernandez, and he says that he was watching the movie, and that's when he heard a series of explosions. He said that people ran from that theater. There were gunshots, police then shouting, "Get down, get down." This witness says that he saw people falling, including one young girl, and we are hearing that a child as young as 1, possibly 2 years old, may have been shot at point-blank range. The police setting up a command post near the Dillard's department store, which is nearby. They're now interviewing hundreds of possible witnesses. Some of those witnesses were taken by buses to Gateway High School for additional questioning. The police spokeswoman says the scene is still, quote, very active. Again, we are hearing at least 14 people dead at this hour, many of them children and teenagers. Another 50 have been injured, many of them in critical condition in nearby hospitals. Police are asking for anyone with any information about this shooting to please call 303-627-3100. And guys, it's also important to point out, that this movie was sold out. And so, fortunately, there were police at the scene when all of this went down. And that is because they were there primarily for crowd control. So thank goodness that those law enforcement officials were there, because this could have been much worse. As terrible as it sounds, it could have been much worse. So let's keep that in perspective, and we'll keep coming to you with more information as we get it, guys.
Leaving.
All right, Heather.
They didn't go in and get him, did they?
Thanks, Heather.
Did they get him
Joining
outside?
us now is Jamie Marshall. She was in the theater adjacent to where the shooting occurred. Good morning, Jamie.
Morning.
Jamie, what did you see in this terrible event?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What did you see last night in this terrible event?
Well, we were watching the movie, and it was about 20 minutes in, I'd say, and it was in the middle of a shooting scene. And in our theater, we heard all of a sudden this sounds like as if someone set off firecrackers. And we all start looking around, and people in the section closest to this wall where we heard it from kind of all looked around, and then it happened again, and a bunch of them jumped off and started running, getting out of the theater. They seemed really confused, and so we didn't know what was going on. We thought someone was just pranking us in the movie. So we started looking around. We didn't know what to do. There was panic, and then one guy ran through to the theater, the personal theater's exit, their emergency exit. He said, "Don't go out through the lobby. Someone's shooting." So we didn't know what to do. We didn't know if people were just trying to cause a panic or what. So we started people started running up the stairs because there was an exit to a balcony area upstairs. And we went up the left side of the theater where we heard the sound, and we looked at the wall, and it seemed as if bullet holes had come through from the other theater.
Wow.
And then we heard a big boom, so we started running and got up the stairs, and police started bringing people down the stairs from that balcony and running them out to the lobby, and we saw a kid run out the door that was shot, and then a girl outside who had been shot in the leg, and people covered in blood.
Well, Jamie, you did what you're supposed to do. We spoke earlier with Rod Wheeler, a homicide investigator, and he said that's exactly what you're supposed to do is scatter and go as
Obviously, you dummy, but there's no room to scatter in a theater. Right. This didn't happen at a football field, and they all curled up on the fucking 10-yard line. It's a fucking movie theater.
Jesus.
Real Phil Hendry on Twitter, radio guy. One of the few radio guys I really like. He's tweeting some good stuff right now. He writes, guys, a 24-year-old all-black costume bulletproof vest. I'll bet his motive will be revenge against a puny world not worthy of his genius.
Uh-huh. That's what it is.
And then some asshole had to do their Baba Booey today. That's coming in. That's wonderful. Good for you. Good. I'm sure Howard will be very proud.
What year is this?
Enjoy your fucking whatever. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, he's going to be famous. We're going to know. He's unknown right now. But this guy is going to be the most known fucking guy in the country in a matter of hours. Everyone will know this guy's name. Everyone will know his dumb fucking opinions, ideology, beliefs, and how fucking amazing and misunderstood he was, and all this horse shit. Oh, God.
On Twitter, another guy says, although this is a tabloid story, okay, I agree, they are a terrible network, meaning MSNBC, just like Fox News and CNN, they all suck. It is amazing how fast MSNBC fans are politicizing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not... Who cares about Fox's political slant the way they're covering a live news story?
Yeah. Why can't you be honest with yourself? If you like MSNBC, good for you, but they're failing right now. We got all three on, the main three cable news networks, and MSNBC is talking about...
Syria unrest.
Yeah, which we could deal with tomorrow or Sunday. This is a massive story that's breaking now. Fox hasn't gone to a commercial yet, and CNN hasn't gone to a commercial. So they're failing as a news network.
These fucking babies that like MSNBC, all they can do, and Fox is covering it. Look, it just happened.
Right. Yeah.
News is coming out, and it's not a tabloid story.
No,
this is not fucking Brangelina. What the fuck? It's a shooting. It's a legit story.
It's one of the main problems we have in this country. Everyone has to put their stupid political blinders on all the fucking time. Sometimes you just got to be honest and realize, look.
Expansion and a proliferation.
Those are the chemical weapons that Saddam Hussein moved over the Syrian
I mean, I
border.
understand. Of course.
The United States went in, right?
And
it's like we conservatives were saying for at least 6 months.
This is why they
Syria. And so we're going to...
She must have been struck or grazed or something because she seemed to be...
Fox, then you got CNN.
There goes Piers. Horrendous details from the Colorado cinema shooting. America has to do something about its gun laws. Now is the time. Do you honestly think that Piers Morgan...
So that's what the first.
You honestly think gun laws have anything to do with this?
Him,
honestly,
or maybe he's a member of a group that somebody else will go out and start the same type of thing somewhere else. So that's number one. Secondly,
there's plenty of gun laws in place. Unfortunately, there are people that don't pay attention to laws. You know, there's laws against bank robbery.
Oh, really?
You know, there's laws against it, but people somehow still do it.
Yeah, that's just dumbing down a very difficult and complicated
it's not going to work.
Topic.
Don't worry about it.
Neighbors, friends, colleagues, associates. So there's a massive amount of...
That'll make Kooks go, oh, okay.
You know, there's gun laws all over in fucking Chicago, and people are shot on a daily fucking hourly basis in Chicago.
Initially, we'll be looking at the domestic terrorism issue.
There had been some reports, in fact, that the vehicle, and we saw pictures of a white car that we believed to have been the car of the shooter because the doors were open, the trunk was up, it was being searched, that the vehicle had plates from Tennessee. So crossing state lines clearly would be another issue that would involve the FBI.
FBI.
Well, certainly. They'll be looking into where he lives in Tennessee or who, various neighbors or family members that may be still in another state such as Tennessee. So that's one issue. The issue of bomb squad capability will be another issue to examine that vehicle.
You do got to kind of find some comedy just because it's just horrific. This guy, John X, writes, I bet Fred Willard is a little relieved this morning.
Oh, man, right?
These fucking news shows were going to be all about Fred Willard getting caught supposedly, allegedly jacking off in an adult movie theater.
Man, did he fucking skate.
He's the fucking...
Holy shit, you're right. Fred Willard was jacking off in a fucking porno theater, which would have been all over the news today.
Or at least all over the internet.
Yeah.
And
even the news would have said it.
No
one.
Fred Willard, congratulations. You're skating today, sir.
Oh, no, this detail just in. He's not skating. Gunman is Fred Willard. Holy shit. He wanted to get the heat off of him.
John X on Twitter, bravo. You're right, though.
That is exactly.
You are right.
Fred Willard.
For the most part, a fairly nice, livable suburb that you'd want to raise your kids in.
Yeah. What do you need to tell us, Kelly? What do you need to tell us about what happened last night?
It's just a shock. It's sad to see
Obviously,
this sort of
it's a
thing
shock.
happen, not just here, but anywhere. It's sad for the victims, of course, but it's also sad for the entire community.
How much you want to bet? Because humans do suck. That there's someone right now demanding their money back.
Oh,
they skated. They didn't get. Yeah,
I didn't see the entire movie.
Right. What's the refund policy?
Yeah. Wow.
But will that affect? I mean, again, the movie itself is unimportant compared to this, but it's a huge event happening all over the country for the entire weekend. There's a lot. So how does it affect that?
You're going to see stepped up security. They're going to do.
In every
They're
big
to
city,
step
certainly.
up security for this movie now.
Certainly, New York, you'll see NYPD outside these theaters.
Yes.
If I talk for New York, that's about it.
Jesus.
It's like what a scumbag shoots a baby. Like what a. I mean, shooting adults is bad enough, but
it's crazy. This guy's a fucking
just a piece
of shite. Just a fucking selfish.
Exactly.
Me. Look at me.
Little cunt of a man.
Oh man. Unbelievable.
Video